Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to RaceRoom for another video. Today we're going to be driving the absolutely bonkers Greenwood Group 5 Corvette. I'll tell you why it's bonkers as we get into the video a bit more, but we're going to be driving against the other Group 5 cars here at Spa. 15-minute race, just about enough time for me to talk about how awesome this car is, so let's get into it. So Spa is a circuit that benefits cars that are both fast in a straight line and good in the corners. Can you guess which one this Corvette is? Here's your clue. Big set of 11s left at our starting grid, and away we go down to the source for the first time. Oh, very bunched up already, trying to find a way round in our big old Corvette as we get nudged from the car behind, nudged wide a little bit, force them to the runoff. Not much room out there, not much grip out there I should say, sorry. And down the hill we go. Eau Rouge is the first time this car. Not too great for Eau Rouge, as you can probably see. Big push. Having to avoid that there, having to go over, cut the top of it. But this is where the Corvette shines in a straight line, boxing a bit behind this 320. And we are released, and look at the straight line speed of this thing compared to the other cars around it. Naturally aspirated 9.8 litre V8 in front of us, producing 900 horsepower at our command underneath the loud pedal. Second gear, sideways there on the way down to Rivage. To first gear. It's nice and gentle through here. This car wants to spin pretty much all the time, so you've got to be nice and careful on that throttle. Only this and the Monza are naturally aspirated in the Group 5 pack. The rest of them are almighty turbos, so you're going to be hearing lots of turbo sounds as I try and make my way past this. Oh, Jesus Christ. 320 there on the inside. Just mustered him a little bit, I think. Maybe just a tiny bit. And now down the piff path. This car is weak through here. Look at the cars in front just take it with ease, as I have to get the car sideways to try and throw it through, heating up those rear tyres. Don't want to do that too much. Through Stavlo 1 and Stavlo 2. Let the car just wander out and then full throttle. Watch the speedo on the left there. 160 miles an hour already going up. It's that uphill towards Blanchimont. Oh, very wide there. Not quite a spectacular corner, Blanchimont, for this car. It's downshift to third, but still good. We have to brake at the sector 3 sign. Even before that, actually, that was a punt. That Fab car got absolutely wrecked as we try and punt the car next to us as well. Who's going to win the sprint to the source, Mr. BMW? Oh, I don't know. Is it me? Look at the speed. Brake at the 150. Brake at the first possible brake marker every time. Try and back the car into the source. Tries to escape me there on the throttle, but I just about managed to gather it up. Down to Eau Rouge again. We gain so much on the way down and lose it all. I try and straight line it as much as possible. Car goes light over the top. Nearly died there. Just about gathered it up. And again, off the top of the speedo, doing probably nearly 200 miles an hour now. Brake at 200. And get up the inside of them, but I can't outbrake. No way. This car, just as an idea, weighs 500 kilograms more than the lightest car in this pack, the Capri. 500 kilograms. Half a ton. Ridiculous amount of weight. Second gear for Rivage should be first really, I think, but just taking it a little bit easy as the car pushes wide there. Sideways there through no name, a lot of runoff there, so you can sort of get away with doing that. Have to pull on again. I'm going to use third gear through here this time. Braking was a little bit bad through there. Try and feed the car in. The car wants to just understeer wide and then oversteer on throttle. And that's no downforce in this thing compared to some of the other cars, especially that Capri. There's no mid-corner performance. You're seeing that behind me, the 320 closing up big time through piff path. Now Stavlo 1, see how much slower I am on the entry and on the exit. But then guess what? We get to open the taps and 900 horses come out. There we go. This thing also has over 1,000 Nm of torque at 4,000 RPM, so pretty much a powerhouse all around. And a third gear. Oh, a bit wide there, need to keep an eye on that. Then we brake before the sector 3 sign because we're going a bit faster this time. Have to wait for that lumbering nose to get into the corner before we can do anything. BMW tries the inside but hasn't quite got the grunt. I have. We're up into the top 10. Only a 15-minute race here, so not many laps around Spa. Averaging about 2 minutes 20 or so around here. See if we get onto the back of that BMW again. Trying to balance it on the throttle through there, again over the rise, the car goes loose. Have to just accept the car is going to slide through there and just try and make the best of it. What a fantastic sound this thing makes. It's absolutely eating up the gap to the BMW in front. Watch him come back at us though in the braking. Nothing we can do apart from just let him back in front. We haven't got the braking performance to make the move stick up the inside there. But yeah, had to miss the turn in there or we run into the back of the car in front. Something that makes racing this car very hard in online competition is that no one really expects just how bad this car is in the corners until they get to it. It usually involves some sort of incident happening before that lesson is learned. Going to try second this time, just get the front turned in, and then third early. Use that torque. Oh, just can't get the car turned in there. Be a bit more patient on the throttle next time. Talking of patience again through Piff Paff. Just have to wait. You can hear just jabbing the throttle in the middle there. This is one of those cars that I recommend you stick in your headphones, earphones, whatever. Turn the volume up as high as it'll go and allow yourself to be immersed in the glory of the American V8. Out towards Blanchimont again. Look at that peasant turbo behind us. Nothing you can do about it. Then it has this thing called cornering that I don't understand. Whatever. Come on. Stop, 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 stop! Oh, all the brakes and more there. My foot was pretty much going through my pedals. How much time he gains through there, that BMW behind. But we're quite close to the car in front now. Oh, I missed first gear. I'm so sorry. I missed first gear. The car did not engine brake and I hit the guy around. I hit the gator on my shifter. Sorry, dude. It's alright though. Not an expensive car I hit at all. It's only an old 320 turbo there, 2 a penny. Oh, Jesus Christ! Car, my God, looking to strike back down on me for my my punt there. Don't get on the grass, Jimmy. Get on the grass at 180 mile an hour is not a good idea. See if we can get onto the back of these guys in front. Can't see what that is in front. Looks like, from the colour scheme, to be a skyline. I've got to be equally wary of the car behind though, because that guy is probably looking now to get past me after seeing me slaughter one of its 320 brethren. Nice and easy. A little bit of a break, going down to Pouin. All the brake in the world, they see the car still understeers. Try and get the car to oversteer a little bit, but didn't want to do it through there. Sometimes a little bit of a slide is the best way through a corner. Not always, sometimes. Here, for example, I'm going to get a little bit sideways, get the front end turning a bit more. Any little bit of straight line is an advantage for the Corvette. No turbo lag, of course. It's all there all the time. That's the good thing about a naturally aspirated engine. We've got to worry about that pesky turbo lag. And the power is always there. I think I'm not going to be making Blanchimont this race. That looks like a Chevy Monza looking at it now actually, which is interesting because that again is a car that is not turbo. Bit faster in the corners than this thing though. Not as fast in a straight line, nowhere near. Nothing is. Fab cars would be the best competition for this thing. See the cars behind, look how much faster they are when they're not stuck with me. Sitting on the rear tyres out of the source, never gets old. Something I wish I'd improve in RaceRoom is how quick it lets you change gear. I'm physically using the clutch faster than the game is handling it. It's telling me that I can't do that and then give me some sort of weird over rev noise. Like that there. Also ignore that Eau Rouge, that was awesome. Ooh. I have a feeling that I've been calling Bolsham on radio. That happens sometimes. Just forget you hear it. A little bit of clear air now, a bit of time to sit down and talk about the car I guess, which is... Well, I'm pretty sure this video is a good explanation of this car. It's just all power. All the time. And some of the most difficult steering work you're going to put into a car. You have to accept that this car is just a slug. A slug on steroids. It wants to kill you at every opportunity, but you can't let it. You've got to harness that anger. Oh, and you go. I'm so used to having a car that bites at the front end there. It's so weird having the car just washes out. Oh, sideways there from the exit of Piff Path. So easy to do that. So many times in online races I've gone, loop the car and put it round. Right at that corner, but it doesn't matter now. There you go, up the hill again. Try and get the car as straight as possible. See if we can get through Blanchimont properly this time, shall we? There you go, didn't cut the track. Fourth gear, I'm going to brake again just before set to freeze time because this corner requires so much of the car. It's just not capable of doing it. Car almost went round there again. Sitting on those rear tyres, that's one way to heat him up. Gaps the guy in front is nearly 4 seconds now. I'm just not able to bring that down, it seems. Let the rear end drift a bit wide at the source. A bit faster doing that. Guy behind as well isn't really gaining on us. Not at the moment anyway. If he's going to gain, it's going to be in the second half of the circuit. Such a good circuit for this car. For this pack, Spa's a great circuit. It just highlights the differences between the cars, which I think is so awesome. I'm not a big fan of spec racing, to be honest. I love cars that are different, have different strengths and weaknesses. Even if it's more difficult, for example, to drive the Corvette than it is the Gr5, and the Gr5 is undoubtedly faster around here over a single lap, over a race distance even. But for the sake of racing, having something like this, just get into the mix just to annoy everyone else. It's what I love about series with multiple cars. Come on, turn you big fat kit. Not that much. This thing also, I believe, because I did try running a league of this once and it sort of failed. This thing has pretty interesting fuel consumption as well. I think it's the most thirsty of all the cars, as you can probably imagine, producing that much horsepower. Come on now. I feel like maybe if I could just be a bit cleaner through this last section, I say that as I nearly spin the car, I might get into the back of the Monza. No, I don't think so actually. What was in third gear then? I put my hand in the wrong place on the shifter. Again, just blasting up the hill. Just wish this car had that little bit more speed in it. The tyres starting to moan a little bit. Again, heavy braking. Foot absolutely on the floor. So careful through here. So easy to loop the car in first gear, nice and smooth. And then you got it. Look how quickly the speed rises, 120 miles an hour. Another lap down. Not too long left in this race now, I imagine. Can we catch the guy in front as I just light up the rear tyres again coming out of the source? Monza is a pretty decent car in this pack. It's got an okay combination of speed and cornering speed. When I say speed, I mean top speed. I suppose this car was just at the end of the scale, just top speed and nothing else. Well, acceleration, of course. It's always quite funny when you drive this car in lobbies, standing still, everyone's got turbos, they lag and they bog down. This car just explodes away regardless of where it qualifies. And you end up first by T1 with lots of very angry, very fast turbo cars behind you. I can't do anything through the corners if it's a single line, and suffer in the straights. It's great fun. We are getting a bit closer to this guy in front, I think. I don't think it's fast enough really to do anything about it though. Oh! See the wheel spinning there from first to second gear, so easy to do that. Every corner is just an opportunity to spin in this car. I'm happy to finally do a video of it though. It's a car that I really enjoy in RaceRoom. Probably my second favourite car after the 300ZX GTO. Just a car that's completely ridiculous. That I would never want to drive in a race series. But still want to drive for fun, you know. You imagine trying to keep this thing on the road for 60 minutes at a time. 15 minutes is enough for me. Go for the early third gear, use that torque. Doesn't even matter that we're low in the rev range, car just picks up instantly. Understeer, love it. Front tyres crying out. .221 fastest lap, so we're not doing anywhere near 220 there. I'm not quite sure what sort of time we're doing. Come on now. Might be the last lap, let's see. If not, this one will be, I think. There you go, last lap. Race over. Oh, Corvette. I am very tired now. My arms are aching. That car is intense. And I really recommend giving it a go. You can buy the car individually or part of the Gr5 pack, so it can be cheap if you want it to be, but I would recommend the full Gr5 pack because it's actually a fantastic pack to drive in. And the whole thing is a great experience. The presentation from RaceRoom, of course, is always great. What a noise. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that. I did. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button, of course, and if you really enjoy it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. Take care guys, have an awesome day, and see you next time.